On Wednesday night, it was 52-22 advantage Spurs. Warriors closed that gap. They scored 10 more points in the paint and limited San Antonio to 40. That's a huge stat there. Only 18 assists, but that was because Curry said, get out of my way. I'm going to take this dance for myself. Free throws basically even there, but the turnovers as well. San Antonio with a lot of turnovers, 21 tonight, 20 on Wednesday night. That is 41 turnovers in 2 games against the Golden State Warriors. So Warriors took better care of the ball than a young San Antonio team, and they get the sweep down in San Antonio. But it all happened in that third quarter, of course. This was a fun game, back and forth all throughout, nip and tuck, and then Stephen Curry said, you know what? I think I need to take over again and have another third quarter flurry. He ended the third quarter with 14 consecutive points for the Warriors. He played every single second of this frame. 17 points, Fezzi, 6 of 11, 4 of 8 from the three-point line. And look at this, crossover, Keldon Johnson, you want this? Not really. Look at D'Anthony Melton on the bench. He's like, oh my gosh, what do you do? He's happy to be on this roster.
For your teammates to be excited, for the opposing teammates to be scared. There's a momentum that Steph is on right now that's scary for the league. When Steph is playing like this Warriors offense is pretty much unstoppable. Just throw him the ball. You saw him shoot a hook shot over Luke Cornett. You saw him shoot a floater. Actually, not a floater, underhand scoop over Victor Wembanyama. And in addition to the flurries from the three-point line, this is just a scary offense when Steph is on the tear like this, Kara.
9 threes, push in, all in on Steph. And yeah, we're going to have some nights where you're like, man, it would be nice if the Warriors could have a little bit more points in the paint. But Bonte, I don't really feel like with the best shooter in the game right now, I don't know how much that's going to be their identity. Of course, that has to be a part of the offense to balance it, attack the rim. But yeah, half of your shots tonight, half of your field goal attempts are from 3. Okay, when you have Steph Curry taking them, you go for it. This is how the Warriors changed the league. I don't know how far they can get away from this identity as long as they have some compliments along the way.
Yeah, they had plenty of compliments. Jimmy Butler, 7 of 14, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Look, he had a quiet fourth quarter, but he had a great trip in San Antonio. He did his thing there. He was looking at Wemby saying, you know what, I could get up to the rack on you. That was a tough finish right there from Jimmy Buckets, Fezzi.
8 rebounds, 2 steals. Jimmy did a little bit of everything. Those buckets were key right there, especially there was the one he had over Jimmy Butler in the middle of the paint right here. This floater right here. This is a big bucket. This is those non-Steph minutes when Steph went to the bench the start of the fourth. This is what you got him here for. Jimmy is a superstar. He made shots from the three-point line the last game. Today, the shot wasn't falling from the outside. He was like, okay, I'm going inside. I thought Jimmy was that guy. He's the guy that brings the physicality for the Warriors. And on a night when you don't have JK and you don't have anything else going, I thought he was the other guy that could get the team offense going.
We need to check how many consecutive games Jimmy Butler has of 20 or more points. And his adaptability really stands out, too. Because in the last game, he was the guy shooting threes, 5 of 7. And in this game, he didn't have to do it. But he always has such a sense of what the game needs. So whether he's having a quieter time, that's just quieter on the scoreboard. It's not like he's not making an impact. I was watching that video, and it was funny to see as he went by Wemby for that shot off the glass. Wemby hung his head after that one a little bit, like, got me. So Jimmy has a lot of ways to get under the skin of an opponent.
I feel like we're not giving enough credit to the Warriors defense. Like the second half, the first half, I heard you say earlier, the Spurs shot in the 60s in the first half.
Well, no, in the third quarter, the Spurs shot 68% in the third quarter. Yet Curry carried the load offensively, and it was only a 34-30 advantage for San Antonio.
That fourth
turnovers.
Defense, they were turning them over. They were running on the offensive end. I thought Steph Curry, his momentum shifted everything towards the Warriors' way. Just the way the flow, the confidence of the Warriors changed with Steph hitting those shots.
And at times, Jimmy Butler, when Draymond Green was on the bench, would guard Wemby and would say, you know what, I can just body him up a little bit, push him off his spots there. So Jimmy Butler, an all-around great trip so far for him when you take away that Oklahoma City game, of course. But let's talk about De'Aaron Fox, who struggled in Wednesday night, going 5 of 14 from the floor. And we knew, KB, that he was going to try to make his presence felt early in his basketball game, and he did. But he ended up 10 of 22 from the floor. Still got a double-double, 24 and 10, 3 steals. But GP2 with great defense on him at the end. But you could tell once he gets his rhythm, once he gets his conditioning up, the Spurs are going to be a problem moving forward.
Doesn't quite, it looked like he got that rhythm back tonight. It's going to take a little while. When you play this speedy and you have a hamstring injury, that really does slow you down. But yeah, when Swipe was like, I need to get myself going, that doesn't mean he's just jacking up shots tonight. You can see him picking his spots, being the smart player that he is, getting his own three-point shot going. That was the first game. Yep, getting his own three-point shot going a little bit more in this one, because that three-point shot has been tough for him as he came back. He was like 4 of 16 coming into this series, so slowly as he gets going. But you could tell the team was invested in getting him going. As I mentioned, had the first 5 points for the Spurs tonight. That's the kind of thing you decide, okay, we can see a teammate who needs a little boost. Let's get it. The Warriors did the same thing for Will Richard tonight, making sure that he had the first bucket, trying to get him going after only 3 points in the last game.
I think the Warriors adjusted very well to De'Aaron Fox. He started off the game attacking, going downhill. He made some open shots from the three-point line, and he could have easily been the guy to carry the team the whole way. Second half, you had GP2 on him, you had Will Richard, you had, the Warriors just continue to throw bodies at these different guards. And I love the fact that he got 24 points, but he had to do that on 22 shots. Some big key turnovers, still trying to find his rhythm with Wemby, and in this offense, trying to figure out what his role is. But the Spurs giving him the last shot of the game says what they think about him as a point guard. He is going to be the guy to carry them alongside Wemby. So the point guard is. Your point guard is the guy that's supposed to get you situated. So those turnovers are going to cost him, and as he continues to get better, get in shape, get into the flow, understand his teammates and chemistry, this is just his third game back, or fourth game back. He is going to continue to get better. 22 points tonight, 24 points tonight, that was huge for them.
You mentioned the turnovers, 10 in 2 games against the Warriors for De'Aaron Fox. He'll want to clean those up here, but we talk about Will Richard and his starting lineup. They're 2-0 with this new lineup, but I'm not going to fixate on that because there's a lot of different bodies on the floor in the fourth quarter. GP2 was on the floor. Brendan Podziemski was on the floor. And they didn't start the game. And heck, in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken, KB, I think they scored 18 points in the first quarter tonight. They were struggling in the first quarter trying to find offense, but it's not to take away from what Will Richard is doing in his third career start.
I'm thinking about how special it is that a rookie can have moments where you don't cringe occasionally at a little mistake that they make. He had 0 turnovers tonight, but just as you consider his body of work this season, sometimes you know that rookies know what to do. Okay, they're like X's and O's, got this, but when it comes to doing it at game speed, you can see him process just a little slow, and then either the defense rolls by them or the moment goes by them in the offense. You can see them thinking. He's already got it. He's already got it. There are no cringe moments right now for Will Richard, and that's one of the reasons why he earned this spot in the starting lineup. You know how trusted you have to be in the starting 5, but also as a rookie. Usually rookies that are picked in the second round, they spend their time in the G League developing, getting all the pictures right, or they're at the end of the bench waiting for those minutes. He has not been waiting for any minutes whatsoever.
Said a lot about his trust, this trust that Steve Kerr has in Will Richard, the fact that he's starting right now, but he's using those minutes wisely. He's on the floor, he is hustling. Man, he is hustling. The energy that he's spending on the floor, you don't see that in the box score. He's going out, he's getting steals, he's getting rebounds, he's pushing people out the way for other guys to get rebounds. I love the energy. I love the fact that he's not hunting his shots. But they trust him enough that when that ball swings and he catches it, he's confident enough to make those shots. From the three-point line, it's 2 for 5. Those were big ones. But as the game continues to get along, they will continue to trust him with more. Right now, the Warriors started the offense. I think that in the first quarter, trying to figure out the chemistry for that starting lineup. He is going to be one of those guys. Both he and Moses Moody, they got to hit those shots early in the game so Steph can operate. That's how this team goes. Like we talked about the role players all the time. These role players are going to have to play bigger roles because as Steph is having these heaters, other teams are watching and they're going to key in on Steph to make sure that he doesn't